Nah. Okay, I'm here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning back in to Castle Mac Presents The Chronicles of Peril. As I say every time, a disclaimer again that many of these stories have been exaggerated over time, specifically those of Elbin, Killian, and Romer. Questions of heroes or villains depends on the telling. I myself, through careful research, through many tomes, am attempting to give you an accurate and honest retelling. And at that point, some of the stories couldn't be corroborated, but some, I found, are tiny. What would it be like to speak of the heroes of old and the small deeds they did? And today, I believe we should be heading to sea, to a small adventure on the ship. It's not quite the Ifrit later, or more of the Amber, and it's not the Basilisk. But here we are, starting with the beginnings of a piece of amber that has crashed through the great tree of Cholt.
Tight.
Killian, Romer. It looks like the hole itself is, like the kind of impact crater is still smoking, but it doesn't seem that this small piece of amber, I mean, it could fit in the palm of your hand. It's still sitting there, and as you look up, you can see the trajectory and the entrance as it goes all the way up through this great tree, and you can see the sky kind of past it as you take the right angle. And at this point, also, Elvin, you are becoming corporeal again, pulling back into yourself to a humanoid form that for the first time, perhaps, you wonder if it feels foreign or familiar. Let's pick up with you two. You can be, you can hear their voices and come in at any point.
Okay. What do you make of this?
I've never seen anything like this before.
Meteorite? I think he'll grab it and pick it up.
Okay.
No, I don't. Take it back.
You pick it up, and it's not cold. It's not hot. It's a little strange that it would be like picking something up off a desk. It's just almost the same temperature as everything. You pick it up, and it's not at all. It doesn't have sharp edges that it seems to have broken off. It's still relatively smooth all over. As you're kind of turning it around in your hands, it almost seems like you see maybe a dark liquid or a smoke within it. But as you continue to watch, it almost seems like it's disappearing.
I think he'd hold it up, trying to catch some of that light. Or actually, he'll cast light kind of underneath it. Be like, do you see that inside?
I don't see much, but I don't think it'd be a great idea to be holding it in your hand for so long.
I suppose you're right. Kind of drop it on the ground.
Romer, as you're saying that, you feel kind of a strange sensation of tightness. And you almost feel like your sword is almost just kind of vibrating, and you can almost hear a muffled voice.
From where?
From your sword.
Oh, okay. Well, then I think he would just instinctively just kind of grasp it tighter and maybe just slowly start drawing the blade.
And as you kind of pull it out of the sheath, you can hear the voice.
Almost like the sheath was muffling it?
Yes, exactly.
He kind of looks around furtively to see if Killian hears this.
Do I?
No.
Okay.
I don't think he hears any of that.
All right. Well, he just kind of turns away from him a little bit, just so he just kind of looks down at the blade.
I do think Killian will obviously be paying no attention as he's kind of staring at the amber. Just be like, well, if you don't mind, give me a couple minutes. And I think he'll just pull out some chalk and sit down and start drawing concentric circles and strange runes, and he'll cast detect magic as a ritual.
Okay. As you are continuing to do that, you pull out your sword and You see something that you haven't seen before as you kind of pull it out and you can start to see the reflection of the blade. It almost looks like you're looking through a mirror, but the mirror is exactly the edges of the blade. But there's eyes on the other side of it and a face that seems to be moving. And they're deep, kind of blue eyes. You can see 2 hands.
Almost like they're inside the blade?
Like they're inside, like you're looking through a window. But that window is just the bit. And there's hands pressed up against it too.
What the fuck is that?
I'm like, let me see it. Give me a closer look.
Fine. he still has the blade out. He kind of looks over to Killian, who's obviously concentrating on it, and he'll just kind of get it to an angle. He looks to the other side. Is it on both sides of it, or just one side? It
seems like it's both sides,
literally mirrored.
And in fact, no, actually, as you see it turn. You can see a figure almost turn around to the other side.
That's a bit creepy.
And it's like, press the blade against it. Do it now. Do it now.
Why?
I need to know.
What do you need to know?
I need to know if it's what I suspect.
Give me a little bit more information.
I don't owe you more information. Set the blade against it.
Do I feel compelled to do this?
It sounds like your patron.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I figured it is. I'm just trying to fuck with him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
don't like him.
At this point, it hasn't been any of, like, the same pain as the first time of, like, old wounds opening up at this point. But you do get the urgency.
I will actually take the blade out.
Okay.
And just kind of flip it around, like, and just kind of look around like I'm just trying to be protective.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll just slowly reach down.
And just the chink. And as soon as you do that, you kind of look down at the blade. You see a figure, as it kind of pushes back, it becomes almost obscured again, so the eyes push away, and it's like, I knew it. And you see it all disappear. And it's just a blade again.
I do think as you do that, and Killian's casting the spell, he's just like, in Domini, please don't. It's like, just back to casting the spell.
My apologies. And I'll sheathe the sword and let go of it.
I'd just be kind of slowly walking and not really,
not
even looking up.
You've kind of climbed down, keeping to yourself. By the way, we have a sub, thankfully, from Suspicious Initials. Well, thank you so much.
Wait, are they Suspicious Initials?
That
or is that
is
the actual
full
name?
I did not say. That was not me describing the initials themselves.
I swear to God, that's what I thought it was.
Sean just didn't want to say NSA.
Yeah. Thank you from ICUP.
Nice.
I got that.
To bring it back. So you're continuing. It's been a few minutes. We'll say that you took a few minutes to kind of collect yourself. The druid circle up there is not talking, but you now sense an almost definitely stronger presence of just the growth, and their power almost seems to be just kind of amplifying by the minute as you climb down. So at this point, we'll say that you've checked your blade, you've touched it, you've seen nothing else, heard nothing else. You have now just finished. You're coming up to the final circle with your chalk, and as you hit it, you can now detect magic. There is necromantic, there is enchantment, and there is transmutation.
Well, I think he'll just reach out and pick it up again. Whatever it is, it's definitely interesting. Necromantic, the transmutation. Are you understanding me? And enchantment.
What stupid?
I just wasn't sure what your level of knowledge of schools of magic was.
It's not great, to be honest.
What is this little thing?
The further you look, you're no longer seeing what at first was just almost an inky blackness in the center. It seems to all be gone now, and if you look with light, I can't tell it all.
I have a dread feeling about it. I still would not be handling it much. Maybe give it to the druids.
Could have sworn there was something inside it. but I can't see it now.
It could be the cause for all that's going on up there.
Could be.
You'd say necromantic.
I did.
I assume that means undead.
You do know something about the schools of magic. I think he would kind of put it down and just... Well, it doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. Nothing I've come across in my studies. Does it... I mean, is amber used, do you think, now to store things? I mean, obviously, out of character, we all know what this is. But
I mean,
yeah,
I think especially in wizarding schools, yes, I think various forms of amber are used for the same. Like, there's, like, oh, well, that beetle is actually 1,000 years old. It's now extinct. And I think maybe even for preservation of, I would say, extracting spell components from things that are no longer around. I do think it's still kind of like, I mean, nobody really uses amber that much anymore. You're like, it's rare, it's more...
It's archaic.
Yeah, you're like, yeah. You've seen it for sure. You know people who use it. And probably at least one wizard you know who... that is their specialty.
It's got like shelves of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he would obviously like go to pick it up and then not. You're like, I've seen people use it to store things. Spell components, extinct species.
But this one fell from the sky.
That's a pretty big mystery, isn't it?
You'd be here now.
Yeah, so I have every reason to believe that Rot is going away because I sent the evil.
Yeah, you, as soon as you completed the ritual and dispatched the demon, yeah, okay, it was a kind of an immediate weight was lifted, but as you get back, now that you're back in this material plane, you definitely feel even more so.
Right. So
almost like the gears of a clock starting to tick again.
And there's a huge tree that we're sort of underneath, right?
You're kind of within
Is that tree alive?
You didn't think so at first.
It wasn't when we came up to it. It looked dead, right?
It looked dead. At this point, though, I think both of you having kind of some innate magic abilities definitely start to feel one, a lightness, a freshness in the air, but yeah, you start to, as you kind of look around, you hadn't noticed that the kind of interior bark has been lightening and kind of how from the very dark, dead brown to a kind of lighter, almost chestnut.
Elvin, do you have any idea what this is?
It's not the source of the problem here, I know that.
Are you
The
sure?
problem is gone.
This has nothing to do with it, then.
Wait, you said the problem is gone.
That's right.
How do you know?
Well, I spoke with Teo,
Teo?
and we...
Who's that?
Oh, a god.
Oh, that was pretty casual.
Did you say that you spoke with a god?
I think I'd be kind of like feeling my necklace. I did. He was sleeping, and he should be taking care of this place now, but we have to go.
Wait, before we go. Whatever was in this,
Still picking it up.
I swear I saw something moving just moments ago. Like a wisp. Like a shadow of something.
Twofold. You two went down there specifically because that druid circle said, get it out of here.
Yeah.
And you heard down there Obteo say, something hit me on the head, and I fell asleep, which should not have happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did forget about that one. I have no idea why a shard of amber would fall from the sky like this.
I believe it's what put my god friend to sleep.
What?
Something
So you're saying that put your god to sleep?
Something hit him in the head, he says, and something fell from the sky, you say.
Are you sure you were talking to a god?
I don't know what I'm sure of, but he said he was a god.
Well, whatever this is, I think it's important. If this was the source of the rot, if this fell from the sky and did something, maybe we should hold on to it. Just for research. Just to study. You said we need to get going.
We should probably try to destroy it.
We have to leave Cholt.
Throw it into the sea.
Of course, we'll certainly destroy it, but first we should understand it. We could cause more issues if this truly was the source of the rot here. Albin, you certainly agree with me, right? We have to understand it.
Well, a spirit was the source of the rot. Or the spirit, or
demon.
A demon. He's since been banished.
Killed?
That's one we
killed.
fought.
Yeah, they totally understood.
Right, because we fought it.
Yeah, they heard all that whole druid circle too. So they watched you complete the ritual, which to review was awful. Mm-hmm. So all of you have just experienced that. Yeah. I mean, only a couple minutes ago.
Yeah,
it was dark, almost even by Thayan standards. It was savage.
Oh yeah. If this coincided with that, what could it mean?
I don't know.
Something that powerful will just corrupt you if you keep it on you.
I think it's inert now. I'm telling you, there was a shadow inside. It's not there anymore.
Your detect magic is still going, correct?
Yeah.
I'll say that you are only getting traces, and it's getting continually less magical as you look at it.
I think he would hold it up, and like his eyes would sort of stare through it. He's like, in fact, right before my eyes, it's getting weaker. The traces of magic in it are dissipating.
I think Romer just kind of narrows his eyes at him, just trying to think if he's trying to rationalize it, because he doesn't know.
You can roll.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. We can either roll it, or you can know one way or the other. You know my rule on how I've been doing player versus player rolls.
Yeah, I'd almost rather you roll insight for me.
Sure.
If you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because that way I don't, and you can kind of just, no, I don't want to see it.
Okay.
Like behind the screen.
Sure.
I have a +0 in it, so.
Honestly, you've known him for a day. You're not sure. You're like, he has all the conviction of believing it, but you don't know the nuances of his character at all. You're legitimately like...
All I know is he's a wizard, and I'm a little distrustful of wizards. He's actually distrustful of magic, even though he has magic.
Yeah.
He kind of, he hasn't talked about it, but, internally, that's kind of what's going through his head.
Yeah, so you would continue talking, obviously, as you're thinking about this, like, the powers are weakening. This clearly coincided with the arrival of this thing.
Good. I could hold it. It may not have the same effect on me as it would on a person.
This might not be a bad idea.
Alright, sure. Take it. I don't need it.
You're just gonna let that go?
I don't need it.
But I mean, he would be kind of like, yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Well, if we're leaving Jolt, where are we going? Wait. You can speak to the animals and the trees, right?
Teo may not approve, but I could try.
Is Teo your god?
He's not my god, but he wants me gone, despite all I've done.
What if you just ask one little question of this tree here?
Alright.
Ask if that falling coincided with the start of everything. Would you try that? I promise we'll get out of here.
Alright.
And I'll settle on an accent.
Speak with plants.
You don't need to.
Okay.
You start to think, like, what is the spell for speaking with plants? Is it the same? Then you remember the druid circle is legitimately right up there, and they're completely active. That you get the idea that they are both separate and completely communed and connected to not just the tree, but Chol.
So talking to them is like talking to...
Absolutely.
Right.
They did tell us to get it out of here. It had to have been the source.
Alright.
What is it?
Well, I guess I could take it up to them.
Yeah, you guys can all head back.
I know, right?
As you head back up there again is the Druid Circle 1, which seems like all of the circulatory system and everything is kind of just spread out. It's two-dimensional against the tree. The one completely made of flowers, and then the other that is all kind of like the mushrooms and toadstools, like just kind of covering vaguely humanoid at this point. Shepherd.
Yes. I have one question before I go. What is this And does it have anything to do with the rot?
That began our time of troubles. It came from the sky. Crashed right through the great tree of Chant.
To bring the demon, or
No,
the demon bring it?
it somehow cut off Obteo from the jungle. The demon took an opportunity.
What sent it?
We do not know. We do not know what it is. It seems to be gone now. But we know it's ancient. As old as Obteo.
Ask him if it can come back.
Could it come back? Could it get worse?
Here, no longer.
If we take it away, will it come back?
Not to Chant.
The power, I mean, in this.
That seems to be dead or dormant now. But we can smell the wind. It is not gone, but far from here.
It?
We do not know.
Alright. They can hear, understand?
Yeah, I think everybody can hear.
Well, I suppose it's worth holding on to, then.
Well, if it's dormant, I suppose you could have it if you wanted.
Makes no difference, but I might as well.
I think you could tell it.
Romer just gives him a stink eye as he does it. Kind of, again.
Yeah. I mean, if you twist my arm, sure. My bag's not too heavy. Yeah,
It's just a small,
Actually, that's a
rock.
nice spot right here, so yeah. Alright. I think he'll scratch under Anaki's beak a little bit. Alright. Well, if we should be leaving. We should be leaving.
We thank you, Shepherd, for all you have done. And the others. The Defiler and the Dead Man.
Well,
It's not a good name.
yeah, I think he would sort of be like, well.
And you sense no. It was a completely neutral.
Yeah, no
statement.
ill will.
Yeah.
Right, just behind it, but yeah.
Just who he is.
Killian the Defiler.
We wish you luck in your travels.
Thank you. Where should we go?
Town. Closest one. I'm really thirsty.
Is that northwest, closest town?
You get that the closest actual civilization, and you know it because you know exactly where you are. You're like, yeah, it's back to port.
Is that Port Nyanzaru or another?
It will be Port Nyanzaru. We'll say that it is.
Cool.
Oh, we head to the port.
Alright, how far?
How far?
How far?
It's gonna
I
be.
guess I want to do a barbershop thing.
Composure.
It's days.
Days.
It's days.
Probably a few days.
You know you can kind of hit the somewhat makeshift road, and it'll be easier, but you got a couple days through the jungle just to get to the road.
Plenty of time to talk.
Well, I suppose let's get started then.
Alright.
You guys exit the tree, and as you do, when you come back out, the landscape is what you would have expected. It's not only just no longer rotting, you can already see kind of splits from what were the stumps and trees already growing out, which would be the equivalent of maybe 30 years growth in a few hours. It's verdant, it's green, and you look back up at the great tree, and it's not just small leaves, it's these massive, almost banana leaves, but they're huge. I mean, they're like 50 feet across, just heading up.
Did you do that?
That would be a potato, I believe.
It's disappointing.
In time.
Seem to have some mastery over life.
Some what?
Mastery over life.
A bit. Nothing like this, though.
Interesting. Oh, it's this way. He just turns and starts walking. Yep.
I think Killian would break out the pipe packet for the walk. Been saving some of that tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
He'd pass it around, too.
Thank you, both MTD Jake and Utilitas.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
For this.
Wow.
You guys, honestly, even weather patterns from what you've seen, and especially what you guys experienced when you first got here, it's still hot and it's still humid, but it is as close to pleasant as you imagine the jungle would be. I won't even make you roll perception, but you get kind of when the sun's hot, that the trees almost seem to, the canopy seems to come together to give you more shade.
Cool. As
you're kind of walking. And it's fairly easy. You guys can have whatever conversations you want to have as you're walking.
I think that might be some.
Okay, yeah, so let's, you guys are, let's say you've traveled even for a day. You've made the light conversation. You've all been in your heads. You experienced a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You're at this point feel like you've reconciled enough to live your life. But yeah, you guys can take the floor.
A defiler and a dead man. I thought I had explaining to do.
Well, I suppose now's as good a time as any.
Pops open one of his bottles of wine.
Oh, hell yeah. Killing
And he hands it to you. It's actually fine wine.
Yeah. It'd take too long of a drought.
That's a bit much.
Wipe his mouth. Well, we certainly aren't that much together. We've traveled for some time. This, well, it won't be easy. But you might not even know the context. I don't know. I don't know what you know, but I escaped a very nefarious organization of wizards. The Red Wizards of Thay, if you know who they are.
I'll let you roll for it.
I'd rather just no.
No.
I mean, I think Elvin was.
Would it be history or
you can pick if you want to know.
Yeah, you
it might be more fun if you do.
Yeah,
I mean, frankly,
it can even, and you can decide. You can either have known it in your month's travel at this point, or it could spur something.
I'm thinking it just spurred something. I don't know what it spurred, but just spurred some memory that I had from before.
And you would know that they're feared. You know that there's, frankly, especially where you're from now, a lot of it is rumor. So
it's pretty far away.
That you're like, there's a place where there's undead kings and gods, and they say red wizards can. I mean, and the stories have changed depending on what campfire you've been at, and it's like one red wizard took down a whole army. I mean, so it's ridiculous. But you also know that frequently it is nefarious, and most people are like, fuck a red wizard.
Okay.
So I do think after he says it, he would kind of search Elbin and probably like slump a little to realize he doesn't know. I'm like, perhaps it's better that you're not familiar with their reputation, but there was a war, and they raided my village. I was very young. They killed, pretty much everyone that I can at least remember. I don't have many memories, truthfully, of my family before then, but I was raised by them. That's what they do. It's brutal. I think he would kind of part his long curly hair, and you would see intricate tattoos on his scalp. He would say, they marked us. And I escaped during a particularly harrowing ritual, not unlike the one you just performed, but simply for the gain of knowledge. Not to heal, not to help, just for knowledge. But I fled, at great personal risk, because I'm certainly a dead man if they find me. And that's why I came here. But I also came here because I knew my power would be able to flourish here. My master, he planted a seed, it's a bad analogy, within, and I researched how to turn life into power by draining it, as you've seen.
Quite opposite, aren't we?
It's worked so far, but I'd left that because I knew what they were and who they are.
You still do that?
I don't know any other way. That's how I know magic.
So you drain power from us?
I don't think so.
Life from us?
Plant life, really. I can pull it.
But that pisses you off.
Well, I viewed it as an unfortunate side effect and healed it as he ruined it.
I do think I can find a way to...
Perhaps I can help.
I would like that. I think we can.
Do you really want to?
Of course. There's no reason to.
What if it's the only way to power for you?
I don't know.
Is that why Hildegard's celestial friend looked at you that way? Did he or she? Was it
And it was a
Yeah,
they.
did they
It was
more-
a them. It was a them, a they.
And most of the Celestials you saw, you're like, no idea.
Yeah. They're just gorgeous.
Yep.
Did they know what you were?
Probably for something different. The reason I left, the Red Wizards had discovered how to traverse planes by taking an Aasimar, like Hildegard was, and essentially performing a ritual on them to open a portal. Various planes. So they were capturing them.
They, not you.
I never captured one.
Would you if they'd asked you to?
Imagine that you've lived your entire life, since your first memories, under the tutelage of someone who seems to care for you and seems to grant you power, and they ask you to do something after 19 years of training and indoctrination.
So you're saying there was a lack of choice?
I don't know. I think the choice was there if you truly believe it, and I clearly took it, because I did leave. But had they asked me when I was younger and looking to be initiated and be included, I don't know. Probably.
But you didn't, and you're here now.
That's right. And if it were up to me, I'd return and kill every last one of them, because I've seen what they've done.
Maybe someday we could.
Maybe. They're extremely dangerous. And extremely powerful. And more so, they're cunning, and they've got time on their side, because each and every one of them aspires to be eternal. And many of them have achieved it.
Are you sure they're not just perceived as powerful by you because you grew up around them? And they brainwashed you, conditioned you to think that they're more powerful. Sounds like a lot of them are blowhards to me.
I hope you're right. But having traveled and seen the way people live, it's not the way they live. It's not. Every single thing they do is to become more powerful, to climb the ranks, to outdo their neighbors. To be honest, that's what keeps them in check, I would imagine. If they were to band together, I think that would be the end.
One of the guys that we fought, was one of them a Thane Wizard?
Mm-hmm.
Would we have recognized the tattoos?
They look very, very... Yes, you would. You'd be like...
Would I put that together, I guess?
I think so.
Okay.
I think you would have been like, oh, crazy, powerful, evil wizards.
Mm-hmm.
you would have been like, what were they called? The Red Wizards of Thay. That one, the kind of illusion went. So yes, you would put together that they were the same.
Did you know that wizard?
I didn't know him, but I knew his type.
Was he one of the Thayan wizards? Oh. He was pretty tenacious about killing him. That's a good thing.
I have no doubts about killing.
You maybe should, but...
Well, few doubts.
I have my own. But I'm here. And I've no desire to go back. But the lure of power is strong, yes. I admit.
Power can be good.
Even power such as yours can be twisted. Even though it's for life.
I won't be twisting it.
It's good to know. They had you the bottle.
And as you have said that, you do have a flash of a memory of kind of barren battlefields, and it's almost a memory that you remember something like a druid, kind of far less just had, shirtless, kind of almost like the mud in the hair and the mud all over, almost as camouflage, throwing two like kind of palms into the ground, and you can see almost you're closing the distance. You know you were running, and you see vines licking up the people who are running with you. It's just a flash of a memory for a moment.
But I don't know about fate or anything like that. But I found myself on this jungle with you, the opposite, the grower, the shepherd, and Hildegard, of all people. So, that's why they didn't let me in, I suspect.
Where's Hildegard?
She was called by her deity. Some duty. It's quite spectacular, actually.
I went with her the first time. Was
she attractive?
Like a 7.
It's not bad.
What about a dead man?
Oh, right. Yeah. I died. Apparently. I don't know if I believe it or not.
Well, you're not undead.
No, I'm not. Woke up, battlefield, and to be honest, I don't remember a whole lot of what happened before then. I don't even know my real name. But, that being said, I was drawn here to the two of you, guided, you might say.
By whom?
I don't know. I don't
Was it
like
Teo?
No, it was not Teo. I can tell you he's a dick.
That's interesting.
But he holds my life in his hands, apparently. And when I've tried to break free of him, he has pulled those strings. I intend to destroy him someday. But that is a long road, and unattainable without allies such as yourselves.
Well, that is strange that someone would have taken such an interest in us. A god took an interest in you. A being.
An asshole. No.
Has he made you do anything?
He can't really make me do anything.
But
He can influence what I do by dangling my life in front of me, but I've never done anything yet that I morally object to. I try to be a good person. It is difficult sometimes.
If he twisted hard enough, would you do something questionable? Should we be concerned? We know your intention.
To be honest, I don't think so, but I don't know. You never know until you are brought to that edge.
That's fair.
Yeah. Which is why I asked you about what you would do for power, because I'm kind of in the same boat.
Of course.
And in reality, you're in the same boat too. We all wield magics of some...
What's with the stool, man?
Of some level. Whatever this being is, I don't think he has my best interests in mind. But
and what's the interest in us?
That I don't know. He has been guiding me, pushing me in certain directions, but the fact that the two of you seem to be, well, at least for the time being, decent people, trying to do good in this world, that does my heart a bit of good. But I will tell you this. If he ever tries to do anything that would bring either one of you harm or any innocence, to be sure, that I would not allow. I will gladly sacrifice my life. I don't think he'll let it go there. He needs me for something. I need to find out what it is. And release myself from him.
I believe
if that is too much, I'll walk away.
We've all got our histories. Like he'll be pulling out some food now for Anarchy and like scratching under her little chin, her little black beak. All right, what about you, Shepard? There's a lot to that. What just happened here?
You did talk to a god. It's kind of cool.
Well, I suppose I'm not real. Not a real person. I was created.
I think we were all created.
Not in this way. Nothing of mine is my own, my memories.
Interesting. You were given your memories?
The man I grew up with, I was an experiment of his, apparently. Nature, he says. I spoke to him recently, despite...
So he grew you like a plant.
Suppose so.
That's kind of fucked up.
That's not the most fucked up part of it.
Well.
He killed others and gave me pieces of them to make me more real. I never asked for it, of course. I never was anything, so how could I ask? But
I don't think any of us have asked for what we have. At least I don't think so. I don't remember, to be honest.
Look at us, just a couple of broken men. Put back together.
And you get that in some ways. You definitely got the gravity of it, that it seemed like Heldon more facilitated a natural process and kind of rushed it for whatever reason on his own desperation. But you also get that, like, not necessarily like a science experiment, but you're like, I mean, there's something way more confounding to it and kind of reality breaking. But that's only if I did not make that clear, but you decide. You can still have said whatever you want.
I will tell you this much. Alcohol helps. Well, I get shit-faced and I don't see him or have to deal with him too much, so I do get drunk quite a bit. Fair warning.
I do think Killian would pull that white feather out that he was holding on to and just kind of look at it. And
did you give it to Hildegard, though?
Oh, did I give it to her? Did I let her take it? Shit, I did, didn't I? Yeah, he doesn't. He looks forgot about that.
You left it up to her to, if the next time she sees you, if it's not so kind, you get it.
Oh, that's right. I did say that to her, didn't I? Damn, I was clever back then. I forgot. I'm glad I'm friends with Sean, because he reminds me of funny and clever things I say that I've long forgotten to the mists of time.
No, you are funny.
Sean's like, hey, remember that time? I'm like, mm-mm. But I'm glad I did. Well, there's that. So what now?
That's a good question.
Mateo wants no competition for the forest's love, so that's why we're to leave.
We did start an adventuring company, and we got paid a bit.
You did?
Not bad.
Where was it started?
As a matter of fact, I think he'll kind of show off a little bit. A pretty hefty bag of gold. He's got 550 gold worth. I mean, I'm sure that's...
Rummer's eyes get wide.
Yeah, it's kind of...
And Elvin has the same, whether you show it or not. Yeah. You're like, oh yeah, money.
That's a thing.
I think Elvin's still kind of like... Yeah.
We're still about a day's away from the town. I say we get a good inn, some good food, some companionship, whatever you like. I don't know if you want like a plant or something, I don't know.
I think Killian would laugh at that. Hadn't thought of that.
And just get pissed.
A dryad, though.
I think that's a good idea. We could certainly use the rest. Surely Obteo wouldn't mind if we hung around a day or two in the town, in the port.
He knows we can't walk forever.
Well, that sounds like a plan. And then a boat. Where to?
North, I would say. I'm tired of this temperature down here.
The Sword
Sweating
Coast.
my balls off.
They're not exactly friendly with me if they found out who I was.
Well, you don't shave your head. Keep
True.
your hood up.
What about the world's our oyster?
That's a good point.
Kalimshan?
Don't know these places.
To be honest, I want to find some place where I can do some research on this bastard.
Well,
And I'm sure you want to research that Amber.
You
a
would
bit.
know, because I think you sailed out of Baldur's Gate.
mhm.
You've never been to the Sword
yeah,
Coast.
yeah.
You're like, well, Port's probably the closest for a good jump off point for a lot of places. And like,
It's
if you want to
huge.
do research,
Mhm.
that's just like, one, it might be the best place to go around here. Two, it's at least the closest.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
I think you would say that. Like, well, I think Port. I've never been. I'm familiar. I've read about it anyways. I've read about a lot of things.
Sounds good to me.
Well, Port it is. Is that
There
alright
are
with you,
trees
Elvin?
there.
I don't actually know the answer to that question. Probably some. Palm trees, I'm sure.
What's a palm tree?
Ah, well, you see, I think he would give the entomology of a palm tree.
Coconuts.
The coconuts really, well, they're sort of part of the entire ecology.
He just kind of, his eyes kind of glazed over.
He would give the history lesson.
You guys can sleep that night. You can decide how much all of you partake in drinking to either forget or feel better.
Oh, I get hammered.
Yeah.
I'll drink whatever I... In fact, I'll probably drink the rest of my wine.
Not hammered, just
enough.
just a little tipsy.
I don't think Elvin ever really drank, but I think for the first time, maybe he would a little, but I don't think he.
It's strange, but you're also, one, you didn't drink that much. You're like, I don't know that I really feel affected. Don't know if you would at all. Technically, you're like, maybe I can't. I don't know.
I think that would be a running question in his mind about just about everything. It's like, does this even? Am I not real? So.
Am I breathing?
All right, well, he'll finish off 2 bottles.
Okay.
People can share if they want. If they don't, he doesn't care. He'll have 1 left.
The next day, the two of you wake up far earlier. Romer is in the exact same state as you first saw him.
That's true. I leaned up against a tree, a
Just
bottle.
against a tree, but with his cloak, just placed over his face.
All right, hold on. I want to do a thing finally because I've been holding on to this.
Okay, yeah.
I think Killian would have a little bit of a twinkle in his eye, looking a little bit goofy, and I'd be like, all right, keep quiet.
Great.
And he's going to ritual cast Tinser's floating disc under him so that it rises up. I'm just going to lift him off the ground.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's get moving. And he'll just float behind us until he wakes up. It says 30 feet behind me at 3 feet off the ground or something like that. It just kind of floats, and if it hits anything, it just sort of makes its way around it.
I'm not even going to let you roll because you're so drunk. But
Okay.
and I think you're so drunk that you're so dead weight that there is no you rolling around. It is straight up for the longest time.
My hand's dragging along the ground.
Scraping.
Sometimes you guys do have to pick up the sheath. Will
Catch on something. It starts going in circles.
I also think Killian would occasionally look back and probably start snickering.
I think
that's
Elvin
pretty
would,
funny.
for the first time in a while, just be giddy and giggling at the whole idea because he's probably never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
It's it's probably closer to lunchtime. That there's just so much sun and heat that it finally gets me.
And just rolls off of it. What the fuck?
That's what you guys hear that alerts you. You hear sudden cursing. The disc has continued, and he is just...
Oh, man, I think Killian would banish the disc immediately and be like, "What's the matter? Did you trip?"
The dead man lives.
Where the fuck are we? Did you drag me? What the hell?
I carried you.
There's no way you carried me.
No.
We wanted to make sure you got a little bit of extra rest.
Thank you. He just dusts himself off, stands back up.
Yeah, just...
Doesn't really question it all that much.
You suffer no ill effects right now of hangover. I'm saying just because you typically drink so much and start the day this way that you're like, all right, I'm going to throw up in 30 minutes.
I'll feel a whole lot better. I'm going to crap the booze out.
You have a particular salted meat that you're like, this beast.
Little hair of the dog.
Little hair of the dog that bit you. You guys reach Port Naranzu, right?
Nyanza.
Which was not the one that either one of you came in on, but it was you. You guys came in at a strange small port that was still like a kind of market town, but this place is massive. And as much as you two kind of saw it when you first came in, it's even more. Even though it's been a couple weeks, I think.
It was probably a little fuzzy. Yeah.
But again, you guys see crazy marketplaces, large buildings that look... They have their like kind of light stone. There's a couple domes on top. Some still have almost like a straw hut, but there are dinosaurs kind of like riders like and dinosaurs kind of lumbering through the street.
I don't remember those when I was here last time.
Yeah, I mean, Killer is like, clearly having seen sketches, but...
I wonder if we can rent one.
And doesn't take long before you see people like, rent. I mean, and like people competing, I mean, in any kind of bizarre marketplace where one's like, I'll rent you one, and another one comes up and be like, I have the best and I'll rent it for you too. I mean, just kind of continuing to compete and, you know, trying to sell various liqueurs, goods, ceramic pottery, and things. And you guys are walking through, unless there's something specific that you're looking for.
Yes,
in a very
but not
typical.
right this moment.
Okay.
Gonna look for some spell scrolls to copy into a spell book.
Okay.
Figuring in a big city, it's gonna be an opportunity to expand his repertoire.
We'll try that here shortly. We'll see.
Yep, no rush.
You guys are right here, though, and you're walking through. And you're kind of coming up to this alley. And everybody roll perception for me.
Give me that flight stand, would you?
Inspiration?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give him one for floating me along.
None of y'all need that because I'm giving every one of you inspiration for all of that. So, you guys, I loved the kind of backstories. We're starting off season 2.
Yeah, it was fun. 11 episodes in to talk about the backstory I worked on for
That's awesome.
Killian.
All right, so...
It is interesting how we all are kind of broken in a similar way, right?
Yeah.
And not terribly.
No,
I was just kind of like, I don't know what fuck life has given me.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, life gave me lemons. So I'm squeezing lemonade.
Smoothies.
Should I
12?
What did everybody get? 12?
16.
13.
Okay. The two of you are a little behind, and there's kind of a lot of people. For the two of you, especially, they're like, hello, like just continue.
I'm sure I'm distracted by looking at the fine liqueurs.
Yes, and there are some. And in fact, there's one there who's like, and you're like, I mean, what do you...
Do you have samples?
And they're like, samples. You see, though, there's like a kind of human male figure pulling a small child's arm. I mean, rough into this alley. Just come on. It's like, no! And you see it give it, a straight up slug and start dragging. I'm gonna go ahead and put that.
Nah, man. That's not okay.
Where?
Put that just kind of
Here?
midway in the...
There?
Yeah, about there. Kind of into the alley.
Okay.
And they're behind me?
I mean, they're right next to you.
Okay.
They're just...
Whoa. Broke the cam. Sorry. Cam down.
I think I would just keep my eye on the guy and push one of their shoulders, whichever one's next to me's shoulders, like pull
Kind
them
of
with
point
me.
in that direction?
Yeah, like, hey, we're going this way, and make it clear that.
Sorry, did only he see it?
Yes, I am going to
Okay.
say that only he
Yep.
saw it, but if you alert them now, you guys aren't so distracted that you didn't quite see the hit, but you
Right.
definitely see a kid and actually what you can see of the figure, it has blonde hair that's kind of all pushed back to here. And you see, I mean, like a fine coat, almost admiralty, but it's not quite as naval, and it's over the shoulders, and you can see him pulling back. Looks finely dressed.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
Bit rough for a child. Far too rough. Let's follow.
Let's go have a talk with him.
Let's at least find out.
And Robert just strides over
Yeah, I
there.
mean, I would have been grabbing them like mid.
Like he doesn't
Stride.
resist. He's just like
Yeah.
he'll walk up in front.
Would be rolling over there.
Okay. You guys can move yourselves over there.
All right.
At this point, I'm just going to have the three... Actually, no. Let's all roll initiative.
Okay.
Just to see for...
Just
what are going to be some quick actions.
Yep.
Okay, where are we at?
Do you want me to roll for
18.
Anarchy too?
Sure, yeah.
18.
18.
Wow.
14.
Okay, gotcha.
23 for me and 21 for Anarchy.
Jesus. How? I know how.
I
I know what you
12
took.
for me. All right. Yeah, I think Killian was.
I will say this is what you see, though.
Okay.
At this
Tell me.
point.
Tell me.
You see it been like, nah, not this time. And it pull a dagger.
Who pulls the dagger? The guy.
The guy pulls a dagger. And this kid's like, no! And that is exactly at this moment what you see.
Okay. So I have an action and it's
You
this
have
far.
an
It's
action.
like 15 feet from
Yeah.
me. All right. I will. I'm gonna run up, try to interpose myself between him and the child, and cast invisibility on the child.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then you do. You successfully.
It was me you moved.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Sorry.
You touch the kid. Goes invisible, and
And I'll kind of have like the lightning in my hand and be like, "What's going on here?"
okay. I'll have them respond then. Anarchy.
Oh man, I think Anaki's in full-on attack mode. She'll come up and start squawking around him and give Romer advantage should it come to that.
Okay.
She'll
He's
just
going
immediately-
last, by the way. I'm so
Cool.
sorry.
She'll immediately, just like digging claws to him. You got the flight stands? Oh, they're right over there.
Oh, gotcha. Go. Okay, Elbin.
I think seeing that Killian has kind of got it under control, he just
I'm gonna fix this camera.
just run up and kind of put hands on him.
Ready?
Or even just put hands on him, like making sure he's not leaving. But
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
don't know mechanically what that would entail, but
You know what? Let's go ahead and make a grapple check, because you're just kind of, if you're trying to make sure that he's not leaving, so we're going to roll opposed athletics. You got it. Absolutely. You got a 20.
that killed him.
Stevenson called him.
You can see that he's thrown off by the invisibility. Killian is in between him. Anarchy's squawking, and I mean, you kind of just put him in the full Nelson. You just and I mean, you tight and the arms up. You can see him. I mean,
Strength
I mean, just confused. Romer, it is your turn.
All right, I guess he just kind of casually walks up, draws his sword, with one hand and just kind of rests it on his shoulder. Why are you trying to stab a child? And he's holding his action.
Okay.
He will attack him with subdual, actually, if he tries anything.
We're going to be out of initiative, because this is what happens. You can feel the presence move away, and he's kind of looking at all of you and looking down. And what flashes back is the kid, maybe 15 feet away from you. And it changes into looking like a fiend-like figure that's down. It's like, maybe next time, Bill. And you see it just kind of consume in flames and just...
But he's the only one that sees this?
No, all of you. All of you.
Oh, so it came out of
it. It came out of invisibility.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
You're holding him, Anaki's squawking, you're on there, and he's like... Thanks a lot, assholes.
Well, it looked like you were punching a kid. We were about to stab him, so...
You can't blame us for acting the way we did. You'd have done the same, I hope.
I'll
pull the sword back.
Loosen my grip.
And sheath it.
He kind of fucking pushes out. He's like, been hunting that beast for 9 fucking months across 2 continents.
Well, you know it's close.
You should be able to find it again.
Can we help?
You're like, I fucking doubt it. And you see him start to and look. And he walks over to the spot. Taste it. He's like, fucking kicks some shit. He's like, plane shift. A fucking plane shift. He's like,
what's a plane shift?
You two know. You've seen it.
I actually have knowledge arcana.
Oh yeah, why don't you roll?
No, I don't have it.
Oh, you don't?
I don't, which is why I'm kind of like...
You're like, ugh.
I feel like his powers are just like, they're innate.
Yeah,
he doesn't really understand them all that
I
much.
can do this.
Yeah. So he's kind of ignorant, other than obvious stuff.
That means he left in a very big way.
I see. Huh?
Well, what's that creature then?
I'm not. Fiend. He's a fucking shit. He's an idiot, a minion, but he has information I want. And he's caused quite a bit of trouble.
Oh, sorry about that.
He takes those forms from children he's possessed. Drops a little bit of something in their drink or promises them something and, well, they get possessed by some lower demons.
We could hunt him down for it if you pay us.
Doubt that, mate. Like,
all right.
You 3 could buy me a fucking drink, though.
Seems fair.
That seems fair.
That's where we were headed anyway.
You see him pull out basically a clove, but it's like a completely rolled, a kind of different looking leaf. And he has a match even. Actually, no, he doesn't have a match. He just... He's...
Well, sorry about your botched demon hunt.
Well... What's your stories, mate?
Oh, nothing major. We're just travelers here. We were in the jungle for a time. We're ready to get out. Collinport, I think.
Huh? Good place to go. If you're looking for info, I go there quite frequently. You can find everything in fucking Collinport.
Sounds about right.
He does look at all of you as you're walking. I'm actually only going to let you roll perception on this.
All right.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
You see, at first, the way he's moving and looking, and you see him, you think he's just adjusting his jacket at first and maybe whispering, and just like he's almost doing it, playing it off like he's like just still pissed off at people around him. And you get that he's just kind of done a detect magic very subtly, but he's looking at each one of you.
Man, I think Killian would stop and just be like, well, you've clearly seen by now. Like we're maybe not all we appear to be.
What the hell does that mean?
He just cast a spell. Quite subtly, I might add.
Yeah, well, I do know a bit. Like, you're quite powerful. What were you mates doing in the jungle?
I think that's our business. You told us a lot about yours, and I appreciate that. Suffice it to say that we stopped a great blight. Can we leave it at that?
It's yours, if you want to leave it at that. Just inquiring minds is all.
Do you know of any inns, taverns?
Right, yeah, there's one I like to go to.
Lead the way.
What's your name, anyway?
Most people call me Bell, but it's better mine.
Killian.
Elbin.
Roma.
You three look like a sad fucking bunch.
Just tired. Looking for some rest, relaxation, maybe some company.
Yeah. Well,
not your kind of company.
He's like, I wouldn't want my company either, mate. He takes you to an inn, and it's fairly exotic. It looks like there's a lot of genasi in here. It seems almost like a kind of, and there's a couple other. You see a couple there's not many humans in here. I'll say that. There's like some gnomes. There's a lot of goblins running around. Nobody's actively fighting each other, but it definitely looks like a place where people are having a lot of back tables of like.
I don't think Romer cares.
Yeah, no, I mean...
He just walks in and goes up to the bar.
And you guys are close to the docks, for the most part. So you kind of moved closer to the docks. You can smell the sea again. Both of you for the first time in months, actually. Really? Right? Yeah, months.
Yeah, months.
And, I'll buy the first round.
Oh, that's very generous of you.
I go, yeah, take your cheap stuff.
It's like, taps the bar, he's like, Mags! 4, 5, 2 for me.
Fair enough. Well, we were just looking to book passage on a ship to Collinport.
Shouldn't be that difficult. They're charging a lot more now. Should know that.
Why is that?
Trade embargoes or some such. Some Eastmount trading companies putting out a lot of sanctions. You know exactly what Eastmount Trading Company is. It is the Thayan run trade operations that are all over.
Yeah, I think he would probably go a little bit white at that. Like, huh, what are they?
Oh, yeah. You know, plus you got the Navy of the Sword Coast these days cracking down on piracy. That's piracy between Baldur's Gate, Waterdeep, and Cannonport, which means that everything below Cannonport is pirate territory now. Rough way to go, mates.
Well, they probably need more protection on their ships.
Maybe we can book free passage in exchange for capabilities.
This one person here knows we're powerful.
I suspect more might soon, mates.
Why do you say that?
Ooh. 3 of you. Assuming wizard. Druid. He's like,
Greatest swordsman you've ever known.
like,
Will ever know, technically.
yeah, like, you seem like, well, don't think you're a sorcerer. Don't think you studied a lot of books like my mate here. Not nature. I'm guessing you were given power.
Isn't everyone?
No, some people are born with it, mate.
Yeah, well, I guess that's fair. Another drink.
He's like,
Elvin would like mumble, those who are born.
he's like, what do you mean by that?
Huh? I don't think he meant.
He's a lightweight. He's a little tipsy.
He's like, guess so.
So where now? Now that you've lost your quarry.
Not quite sure.
Saw your trade. Fiend hunter.
Sometimes. I hunt down the things that aren't supposed to be here. Things that are trying to cross over. That belong other places. Fiends, it could be other things though. Elementals, what have you. Strange things going all over the place. I've been doing this a while. Over the past year. I don't know what's happening.
Seeing more and more of these creatures.
Seeing more and more things that shouldn't be here. The planes are...
Weakening. The membrane.
That's a way to put
Like
it.
cloth being stretched too thin.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Yeah. Nah, who knows? You got Tiamat up north. Whatever the fuck else they got going on up there. Who knows? Fuck Waterdeep, am I right?
Couldn't say, never been.
Don't know any of those words.
Bit stodgy for me.
How shards of amber?
What'd you say?
Amber. Have you encountered any?
I've been hearing a bit about amber, in fact. Why do you ask?
Oh, spell components, I assume.
I think as you say that, like, you wouldn't lose his gaze with him.
I'll try. You even try deception?
My man's perceptive, but y'all can try it if you want.
I don't think Killian's trying to necessarily be perceptive. Be deceptive.
Oh, I was trying to be deceptive.
Yeah.
I was trying to cut you off to be deceptive.
Go ahead. I mean, roll it. Roll it.
19?
That's pretty fucking good. Let's see.
Why are you looking him up? He just smiles.
He's looking. For a second, he thinks so, but Killian's look, he's like... For a second, he's like, yeah, maybe not.
He blew it.
No, but I mean, just Killian's direct stare, he's like... He was on the fence, and he's like...
I think Gillian just wants to know more, so I think he wouldn't even try, like, what have you been hearing?
Sorts of strange things. I know a couple other people. Been hearing rumors up in the Sword Coast, in the north. Now, that ain't quite public knowledge, mind you. But apparently, people have been showing up with Amber, doing strange things, getting powers they're not supposed to. He looks, he adds it up, and he's like...
Is Amber dangerous?
He's like, I fucking say so. And he pulls out a tiny piece of amber. And he sets it on the bar. And he does 2 more to the bartender.
Yeah, I mean, I think Killian would stare at that, stare at him, and look at them.
Did it give you power?
He's like, that ain't mine, mate.
Where'd you get it?
I was doing an exorcism. Part of why I was chasing down that little fucker. Dug in. Something was caught in this girl's throat. That's what I pulled out.
That's disturbing.
What are you going to do with it? Where would you take it to dispose of?
Dispose of, mate. I'm trying to know what the fuck it is. I did my show and tell. Quid pro quo. Which one of you's carrying it?
I think Killian would kind of grin and just be like...
Ripper just shakes his head.
Yeah. Slant. Oh. Pop it down on the table.
He picks it up. You see him dig in, and pulls out a gem. It kind of does the almost monocle like. Pulls out his.
His is bigger.
Yeah. That certainly doesn't fucking comfort me. Say they're the same, alright. Same traces of the same magic.
Where from? What are they?
I don't know.
You said there's more in the north.
That's far north, mate.
Do you think they could fix this fucking stool?
He's like, besides, North's got the greatest heroes in Peril from what I hear.
I thought that was us.
We're second best.
Yeah, it's debatable.
Maybe. Well, maybe you can figure out more if you head to Callumport. Any of you ever heard of the Dark Bazaar?
Can't say I have.
It's in the Undercity. Mind you, there's a lot of laws there. It's neutral ground. That means celestials, fiends, aberrations, mind flayers, all in one little marketplace of whatever you're really looking for.
Sounds like a shithole. I don't know if we want to go there.
Maybe we... Never mind. I was just gonna say we could sell it. Better not. Not if it's powerful.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't know if it's powerful anymore. But, things are popping up. I'm not the only one looking for these things, and I'm not the only one in my line of business.
As he says that, I look around the room, and I'm seeing if anyone's we've caught their attention by putting this big fucking hammer on the table.
Not that you see. Most people, seem like they're conducting their own potentially illicit business. Some people just look like they're having a good time. Most other people you see are like doing the like pushing like a small bag
under the table
to the other side, and then like clinking glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's still looking around.
Yeah.
Just
you're watching. I would say while you're looking, you maybe get that there's a level of intimidation just by being aware, and I think your presence that some people are like.
That we're intimidating people?
No, that you've maybe intimidated some people just by the fact that you're like actively like looking.
Like, he's not being subtle about it at all. He's just like.
Mm-hmm. So you see a couple people, like one talking to a half orc. And the half-orc look and nod, and then kind of meet your gaze, look back.
Okay. Well, he just...
Nice.
Elman, thoughts?
I think he doesn't know these places or what the Undercity is or anything like that, so he's just kind of sitting back.
Yeah. Well... Guess that's that. Maybe I'll see you in Callumport.
Alright, good luck. I'm sorry we,
I get it.
It was not our intention.
Yeah. Guess I would have done the same.
Bell, is it right?
Bell.
Good luck.
Yeah. You too, mates. Suppose if you're looking for the amber... Maybe I'll see you again. Careful though. People acting funny. Real funny.
It's a bit cryptic.
Yeah. Well, still a mystery to me. See him. Like I said, Mags, they got my tab. He definitely had far more drinks than you expected. Kind of throws up a collar. You see him light another smoke and he's just like... And heads out. That's where we're going to take our first break, y'all.
Sweet.
So,
awesome.
Stick around.
Hey everyone, Steven from Castle Mac here. Wanted to take a moment to play this video over the break so that we wouldn't eat up time when we come back, so that we can get right back into the role-playing that we think you're here for. Wanted to sincerely thank you for being here. It truly means the world for us, really, you guys. We're overwhelmed by the support that we receive from you all, so truly thank you. Let's get some administrative stuff out of the way. As you may or may not know, you can find us on YouTube. There's a link right down below the video. We've got all kinds of links down there. Or you can find us at youtube.com/c/CastleMac, or searching for Castle Mac will pull it up. I do my best to get all the videos up within 24 hours of their live stream, so there shouldn't be much of a delay. Usually I'm faster than that, sometimes just a little bit behind, but every back episode is there, so you can go check them out. Finally, you can find us all on Twitter. That's pretty much where we mostly hang out in the social media world. All of our Twitter handles are visible within the player tags, although we're pretty easy to find. Just do the @CastleMac and it'll fill out with the 6 of us. So give everybody a follow and let's talk D&D. It's pretty much all we want to do all the time. Another link down below you'll see is our Bandcamp. All of our music is completely original. This is done by Castle Mac Andrew, and he's done just a phenomenal job. You can go listen to those tracks individually at our Bandcamp link. You can also purchase the album if you'd like to show him some support. He's got more stuff in the pipe, and it's going to be just fantastic. Finally, we do have a podcast. Speaking of audio, you can find us on iTunes under Castle Mac and other places that good podcasts are found. We're a little bit behind right now, but we're going to be caught up and have all the episodes for your audio pleasure. Finally, our Discord. The link is down below again. This has probably been the biggest hit with us. We love it so much. Lots of people come and hang out. We've made tons of good friends, lots of new friendships forged there. It's just fantastic. It's a really good community. So we invite all of you to come join us and have a good time. A lot of times after shows, we will hang out in the Discord voice chat, so you guys can come and we can all just kind of hang out a little bit. It's a lot of fun. Finally, let's talk about Divine Inspiration. As you've probably seen by now, every 500 bits or subscription equivalent earns our players a divine reroll. We think this is a really fun way of letting the viewers sort of act like they're the gods of the realm. They can subtly guide the actions of the players, whether it's, guiding an arrow or moving a shield over just a hair. So we really appreciate that. That is the immediate tangible benefit, but do want to talk about, what we do with those bits. We reinvest absolutely every dime we make into the stream, and you can look back at some of our older YouTube videos and see in a very short time we've come a long way. We really use that to pay for art. We've done tons of artist commissions, from overlays to character artwork, and we will continue to do so. We think artists make this community incredibly vibrant and bring visuals to life. I don't think any of this works without some of the wonderful art that people have done, and also equipment. As you probably know by now, if you spent any time with us, we have been making huge improvements to our audio, and that is really our #1 focus right now. So we are saving up for a comprehensive audio equipment overhaul. Both Andrew and I have some background in recording, and we are really hoping to make that leaps and bounds better than what it is right now. We're really making do. It's challenging to mic a room full of people with broad dynamics, from whispers to shouts when people roll 20s. So we are being very thoughtful, and we're really focused on making that as absolutely amazing as we possibly can. And so you all are helping us with that. Every time you donate even a single bit, we really, truly appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to the break. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Thank you again for being here. It honestly means the world to us. So we'll see you soon.
Welcome back, viewers, listeners, to the Chronicles of Peril. As I've said over and over, sometimes it's the small tales that get lost when we look back. From those characters of myth, how does one get to one place or another? What would it be like to hear about the conversations that happened on the way to Troy between Achilles and Odysseus? Soon we may find out, and again, I have gone to great pains and spoken to many sailors to find this true account of our adventurers leaving Cholt and heading to Kalimport. Anything else you would want to do in that bar that night, you can.
Nah. I don't think I would stay there.
You head to a different one?
Yeah.
You guys find a different inn. You frankly have enough money, you can get good meals, good drink. Should you actually want to find companionship, you can also
I think
find
I
that.
would.
Yep.
Not Killian, but he would definitely eat well.
Yep.
I would be trying to encourage him. Because you look young.
Yeah,
right?
he does. I mean, he looks young 20s.
Yeah.
You head to a bar. I mean, it's kind of your typical, you're drinking, you're chatting people up. You have a high charisma. So, you find a willing participant who
Willing's always good.
who is, just picking up, they seem to know the game,
Right.
and they're like, and
Okay.
they're throwing it right, but you're
Right.
doing the kind of dance. Elvin?
Wouldn't do any of that.
That's gross.
You might wonder if you can reproduce, but
That's true.
Now everything is a question. Can I even do that?
Like, well, if I find some pollen, maybe.
Does a bee need to land on me? I don't know how it works.
so you said the other time I drank, I felt nothing, right?
Yeah, you only had that one drink, so.
I'm going to try to get him drunk. Like, I'll buy him stuff that he thinks is not alcoholic.
Oh, let me ask you guys this. Do you want to drink something a bit more exotic?
Why, yes, I believe we would.
You don't have to ask me.
Indeed, we would. Good luck reading that tiny ass.
Oh, I know.
font.
It's so small.
It's seriously like 4-point font.
I do this where I have to take my glasses off.
Yeah, the really old man. Like,
Oh, yeah. And then I have bifocals, and I still can't see it.
Drinks, here we go. Forgive me, careful viewers. I just need to consult my notes on the exact beverages that were consumed that evening. Let's see. I'm rolling percentage, correct?
mm-hmm.
31.
I'm gonna make an updated version of that because some of them are pretty bad.
I was going to say, you almost have to filter, but there's a ton of them in there.
There are. You could probably filter it down to like 30.
Because it's a
ones.
spreadsheet, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have it still on my Google Drive. I don't even remember where I found it. Found it right when we first started D&D.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What I love the most about it is when the DM reads it before we get it.
Yep.
Like, oh, that's really good.
Okay, so the barkeep comes up and is like, "Travelers from afar?"
Yeah. Any specials tonight?
I do, in fact. A rather exotic drink, not for the faint of heart, though.
None of us are faint of heart.
Cost a bit extra, I should add.
Of course.
It's on me.
Very good. Allow me to get 3.
I knocked off 5 gold for the other. I don't know if I want to do more than that.
You can keep that for the same amount. Let's just
Okay.
say that entails the entire night of kind of drinking. Okay.
I think I'm just going to stop tracking gold altogether in D&D games, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It never comes down to the...
You guys will have a chance to do some big purchases.
So I will take
like a wealth factor.
the one thing that I was going to bring this up that Adventures of Middle Earth does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They have a lifestyle, and your lifestyle covers, like, if you are this class, you're always in these kind of accommodations, these kind of food, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good
so
idea.
maybe we can
And that is in D&D. We could do that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, sorry to derail you there.
All right. Sets down 3 kind of half glasses, and it's green with kind of purple swirling liquid in it.
I think Killian would be like, Alvin.
He kind of. Sorry, used to being on my own.
2 friends.
Sure,
I
friends.
think it's said almost as a question. Calvin.
Sure, sounds
2
good.
friends and meet your gaze.
He licks out the rest of it.
Give it a look. Kind of wondering if it's even going to affect him. But I hope
You
it's
all drink, and the barkeep is like, that was wyvern wine, and it has an almost absinthe type taste. There's an earthiness, but it almost kind of makes a vapor, like within your mouth as you just drink, and then it cools. Everybody go ahead and roll a Constitution saving throw.
Can I willingly fail?
Yeah, you can.
I fail.
Fail?
Oh, I failed. Actually, I did fail.
Let me just
Oops,
see.
I rolled a d6. Is that okay?
I would have definitely passed, so I choose to fail.
Choose to fail. Actually
I'll
failed.
fail, yeah.
Failed? Okay.
It's more
Come on,
fun.
these drinks
Well,
are
actually,
fun
you know
when
what?
pass.
I'll roll, because having one person...
You gotta have the straight man.
Nope, he failed.
No,
Yeah,
no.
failed anyway.
Good. Son of a bitch.
Okay. All of you are like, tasty drink. Like, and you're sitting there.
Kind of expensive for just that little bit. I don't really feel.
First, Elbin, you're like, probably didn't work. And then you watch from a table. You suddenly look up and you see like a toadstool. Like, imagine Mario. Like a toadstool person sitting there. Look up, raise a drink, and it's like, oh, Elbin! And it kind of... It starts walking over to you. Killian. You watch yourself walk into the bar. Look at you. Take a seat. And then another one of you walks in. He's like... sees the other one. The other one waves to it and sits at a table. You're watching them as they're kind of looking at you and talking. And a third one is like... This table continues to get filled with versions of yourself that are all talking and drinking.
Nice.
Your date
It's Killian.
It's Killian.
is talking to you, and then the voice starts to change, and it's like, so where'd you say you were from?
Maybe you shouldn't have so much to drink.
What are you? One of her eyes is like a bubble that's blown, and it's like,
What the hell?
The toadstool comes up to you and has to inch up onto a bar stool, sets it, and it takes like a full minute of it, like, trying to get one leg up.
Falls over. Gets...
Hold on! And it's like, Albin, how the hell you been? It starts scooting up.
I think I just look at it and look around and see if anybody else is seeing it. Or they're right next to me, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I tap whoever's Tim.
You feel a tap, and she's talking, and a goldfish comes out of her mouth and starts swimming kind of at you and around your head.
I go to their glasses.
Just trying to drink it out.
Trying to drink more. He's enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's leading into it.
Yeah, he's definitely leaning into it.
The toadstool is like, fancy seeing you here. Pulls up his own glass.
Just staring at you the whole time.
I think Alvin would just be looking at it and not say anything.
Yeah, just doing the wide-eyed.
Yeah.
You hear the bartender come back as you're trying to look away from the table, and it's you polishing her glass.
How'd you get here?
He's like, something else for you, mate.
Are you seeing that? Did you see them all?
The toadstool.
What?
Yes,
What are you talking about?
a bard is playing, and you see two of yourselves start to get up and just dance with each other.
I think Kilbin, he's lost himself. I think Killian would do the Ray Liotta laugh, just like he's just losing his mind.
The things that continue to float out from your day. There's a snake, a flying snake that's just like around your head.
You got all kind of shit coming out of your face. I'm still ready to go home with you.
She pulls you upstairs. You can feel that, but as you're walking, you feel like you're like just sinking into every stair. As you turn around from a bar like just that's filling up with yourself, you see Romer still on the first two stairs, just.
But he's smiling.
Yeah,
he's as happy as can be.
And she tries to give you a hand, and her hand kind of pops off and floats, and she grows a new one. You're like, what?
I'll just grab the new one.
Again, this entire bard. Now the bard is you just.
I feel like it's a whole room of Mortys.
Yeah,
that's what I'm seeing.
This toadstool is like, well, I mean, has continued telling this story. It's like, well, then I was on a ship, and yeah, they had some crazy stuff happening, man. Nothing like the forest, you know what I mean? It's just, wait, how do you say you got here?
We walked.
Ooh, that's right. Barkeep, can I have another one?
I think Ellen would look around to see if, like, the barkeep, I can see everybody else.
The barkeep, as you see, comes over and is smiling, and is like, another drink?
Yes, something different.
He's like, I thought so. He's like, I'll have the same. But the barkeep does not refer back. He's like, am I being ignored? This isn't alright. I want to speak to my manager. Needless to say, for the next 2 hours, your hallucinations kind of continue.
Nice.
Perfect.
All of you have, at some point, gone to bed and woken up the next morning. All of you remember what you saw.
I mean, I think Killian would think that was actually pretty funny and pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we put two and two together.
Yeah,
so.
I would imagine so.
Eventually.
Yeah.
The old wyvern wine and its hallucinogenic properties.
Nice.
That was really fun.
Rumors will come down, just kind of stretching, you know. He typically has kind of a dour look on his face a lot of times. He's smiling, kind of, you know.
It was a good night.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was perfect.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It really, for all of you, I mean, whatever you wanted after that, the food you had was good after you get over the initial
I think
shock.
Killian would be talking to them all like, I mean, you guys know, you remember the time we, you know, all the other partners look, please leave me alone.
Yeah, just, some people are pushing, other times you'll see him sitting at a table by himself, he's like, it was that!
I remember that!
Nor was it! So, yeah, and this toadstool at one point had, you know, you heard the entire tale. It also tells you about heartbreak, like its many misfortunes.
But it's like really boring.
Yeah.
All that we're left was force.
I think that would cause Elvin to just drink a lot and listen to this toadstool.
You find out that you can, in fact, get drunk. So it seems to affect you.
Or at least that stuff.
Yeah. And including other alcohol, if you continue to drink more, you're like, all right, I'm feeling different.
Wyvern wine, not even once.
It is breakfast. You guys have all kind of gathered around with whatever. I mean, you're feeling good. You're feeling.
I mean, I think Killian would be in pretty
abused.
good spirits. It was pretty fun.
Order a huge breakfast.
Oh yeah, a lot of proteins to soak up the sugars.
Yeah.
He knows how it is. I will order the same for them.
Elvin, how are you feeling?
I think Elvin feels good. I think the weight is lifted after, because he was suspicious of Killian. You know, we were having some issues.
Yeah.
We had to go to counseling.
Had a couple trust issues.
Yeah,
But
we did
I
a
think
trust fall.
I think it was worse.
Let this be a lesson to the careful viewer about the benefits of transparency in relationships.
Relationships.
That's right.
So if you murdered people as a red wizard, tell your spouse.
Yeah, but people were murdered to make you, so I think you guys are kind of even.
Yeah, and technically, I don't think Killian actually murdered anyone. So.
Right, you just...
So technically, you're worse.
Right. Well, I didn't murder anyone either. I just murdered people.
You are murdered people.
Received murder.
I was murdered. My memories
You're Soylent
are
Green.
from people that were murdered. So that's me. Right, Sean? Sean Begnail. You know what I'm talking about.
The ritual that you just performed might
I don't know.
be close.
I don't remember it.
That was
Yeah, I don't remember. I forgot. Did we see that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure.
Oh
we
yeah,
did.
I think Killian wouldn't touch it again. I
Oh,
don't think
yeah,
he's going to revisit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe Elvin wouldn't be feeling great, actually, now that I think about it.
That was also days ago.
Yeah.
Not that you might
Yeah, you're
still
over it.
feel.
Yeah.
You know.
Wasn't me. Why do I care?
Okay. You guys eat breakfast. You can talk if you want to, or we can fast forward.
I think Rumor just has a quiet breakfast. He's just making sure that they eat, just to make sure that they can recover from their hangover. Because they obviously didn't look like they party this much that off.
I like to think Elvin doesn't really get hungry.
He doesn't even ask him what because he knows, he kind of figured out what happened. I'm sure we all know, but he kind of wants to know, like he's very curious, but at the same time he's like, I'll let them have their own experience.
You give them your views. You're like, for every one drink, I eat 4 sausages.
Here's the rubric.
So if you have a glass this big, imagine if you can put the same amount of sausages within that.
Pack it in.
That's how
And then
much you
2
need
biscuits.
For every 2 fingers of the alcohol, that's 1 sausage.
Sausage length. Now, if it's patties, that's a little bit more difficult.
I actually did an experiment where I stuck sausage in a pool of alcohol, and then I measured it before and after, and that's how you know how much you're drinking. You need to absorb all of it.
The most fastidious about breakfast after drinking.
Can I put that as a proficiency?
Yeah, for sure.
Breakfast.
I'll give you advantage.
Hangover.
On getting rid of a hangover. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Well, you can stick around town. You wanted to try to find some spells.
I did. I would try to buy some scrollies.
Okay.
I got
Thought
some
you didn't want
cheese.
to track gold.
Well, you know. Yeah. I
Well,
want,
maybe
I want trying
this
to give me
time.
all the scrollies without having to spend any of my gold. That's what I mean.
You know, before I buy the scroll, let's stop tracking gold. Maybe after we can talk about it again.
Yeah.
Pick up where we left off.
That's the one thing I love about the wizards.
Yeah.
And
I feel like wizards don't get played that often. Like I don't see them
don't
much.
know why.
And so I think as a DM, it's helpful to be reminded that you can buy scrolls because I always forget about that feature.
Oh no, I never forget about that. That's one of the reasons I always gravitate
Maisie,
to
why are you
them.
making so much noise? Come here, girl.
She's the tambourine playing bard in the bar.
This dog. Oh, he's a good dog. You're a good dog. Question. Who's a good dog?
You. Here's a couple of the spells do you have right now. Third.
You're a good dog, Daisy.
Okay. We'll do.
Do you know what you're looking for?
I think he would look for what's available. For things in particular, he would definitely be looking for Dispel Magic. But besides that, he's just kind of open.
Yeah, so whether or not you get it will just determine how much Sean likes you.
Yeah.
Okay, I will tell you what you find.
I was going to open up the rules to remember what it costs to copy a spell into your book. Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't remember.
Well, it's a good thing. Look at this.
God, you're such a
You gonna
nerd.
see this?
No, I've never seen
I've
that.
actually never seen that book before. If you
Let me
can
ask you,
believe
do you have Ray of Frost?
Do I have Ray of
As a
Frost? I
cantrip.
do not have Ray of Frost
Okay.
as a cantrip.
So you find one cantrip for purchase and one spell that you can find. The spell is Earthen Grasp.
All right, cool.
It is a 2nd level.
You can't add cantrips, though, can you?
I don't think
But you
so.
can use it.
You can cast.
Oh, you just use
cast
it as a
from
scroll.
the scroll.
Gotcha.
Yep.
And you find I'll say you find 2 scrolls of Ray of Frost.
Okay. Got it.
That total, let me see. I forget how much a spell scroll for.
I want to say it's like 50 per level or something.
Yeah, so let's say 120 gold is what you
Okay.
spend on that.
Cool. And then Earthen Grass. What level is Earthen
That's
Grass?
2nd level. wizard spell.
Okay. So he will copy that into his spell book. I don't know if we have enough downtime for that because it takes a couple hours. I don't remember. I'll look it up right now
It could-
because I kind of want to know.
Well, you can always do it. If we're on a ship, you'll have
Yeah,
time
yeah,
on
yeah,
a ship
yeah.
to do it at the very
course.
least.
There's nothing bad's gonna happen on ships.
You guys can also purchase the 2 healing potions to get you guys all up.
Yeah, 50,
I think I still
50
have
each.
those.
Actually, I have 3. I never
Oh, you
used
got
them.
3?
I have 0, so I will buy 2 among the party or 2 each.
Two each. 2 each.
Yeah, I actually got the 2.
Alright, so that'll be 50 gold for you. You still got 2. You got 3. Okay, anybody looking for anything else?
Here we go. Copying a spell into your spell book. 2 hours for each level. 2 hours and 50 gold. Can I go ahead and spend that money to just add it to my
Like buy the components and stuff to do it.
And at the time you have it, yes.
All right, so I'm spending 120 gold on the scrolls themselves, and then 50 more to copy that into my spell book. So
Got it.
170 gold gone. Oh, I just won't bother tracking that.
There's no need to.
I realize my folly. Okay, I do.
Okay.
But it still doesn't invalidate the thought of having like a lifestyle, which I think I like because it's annoying to penny pinch. And,
I like that too.
you know.
Totally.
Where is gold? Oh, there it is.
I'd rather just say we can afford everything.
I mean, you guys have a fair amount of gold right now, so
Well, they do.
still got
Oh yeah, you keep buying all the drinks. We're the rich ones.
What does Earthen Grasp do?
It's kind of like a hold person,
Graspins the earth.
but it does more. I think it does damage every round. I think.
What after that are you guys trying to do?
I think the idea was to head to the docks.
Head to the
try
docks,
find
yep.
a ship.
As you guys head, you see, I mean, it's your kind of typical dock with trade. There's different people bartering, things like that. You can hear you see one small halfling who's yelling, like, "Are there no brave adventurers who would take on a quest? For pay! For pay! No? No? You're a coward!"
Is this at the dock?
Yeah, at the dock.
Oh.
I mean, kind of at that, almost the central bit where it starts to split into the dock from the kind of central boulevard or street.
Damn, that spell is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, it's really
I
good.
didn't realize that. Sorry, it's like a hand comes up out of the earth and grabs him, and then you can choose to crush.
Crush.
That's cool.
Tight.
Yeah.
That was a randomly
I like it.
randomly rolled one.
All right, well,
Well,
we have an opportunity, perhaps, here.
assuming that it's on a ship, we need to get out of here.
Oh, there's no harm in asking.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think Killian would be, like, pretty chipper, like, more than ever before. Got a new scroll, like, and that's probably a
Got a new
place.
scroll.
Like, he's sitting there, like, okay, like, just copying down the arcane symbols, like, pretty jazzed about that. Probably got a bath.
I mean, you guys are leaving Chol victorious. You found who you were looking for, who you've been searching for. The two of you, I mean, as difficult as it was, I do think that you understood the weight, and if not, at least I think Killian would, of a Prince of the Abyss, like, is destroyed.
Yeah.
Whether or not you guys have talked about it because of the rituals and other things, but
Well,
So
certainly
you
worth
stopped
it.
the
So
rot.
it's a level 6 for that because I don't think you gave us experience for that.
I did.
Yeah, and I think Romer is he's a little delusional with some things.
Yeah.
He thinks he's smarter than his patron, and he thinks that the fact that he's met these two
He can get out of that.
Exactly.
You're like,
Like, he made a mistake.
You're like, one, they both got a lot of power. One's read a bunch of stuff. The other one is good. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Things are fine.
I got this.
Yeah, nothing can go wrong.
Rummer stays in his pack. Okay.
All right, well, I guess walk up to the halfling. We're brave.
He's like, I knew if I was out here I'd find somebody.
One question.
Yes.
Is this going north? We are on our way to Callumshaw. Or Callumport, I don't know which one.
Well, it is on the way. There's not many other places to go, to be honest with you.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Then what's the opportunity?
Well, I don't necessarily have a ship for you to travel on. You'd still need to find somebody for that. But
All right.
I do have a job. I'm a merchant. I have ships come in, come out, plenty of trade goods. One of them has gone missing, and I think it's probably the sea monster.
Is that the name of the ship?
No. The name of the ship is the Jade Lion, but...
A sea monster like a kraken.
Well, that's what some people say, but it doesn't sound like a kraken. I think if it was a kraken, everybody would know. But, a lot of people have been talking about the sea monster. I'm sure you've heard.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
We've been in the jungle for some time.
no
Of
sea
course.
monsters in the jungle.
Yeah, that would be... Well, wouldn't make much sense, huh? It'd be easy to deal with, at least.
So, you want us to find the ship?
Yes, the Jade Lion.
Jade Lion.
It went missing on the pass, in fact, from here to Callumshaw.
It's a long area.
True, but we travel the same route every time. There's a stop off halfway.
Where's the stop off?
It's a small island. It's really just a lighthouse. There's a reef around that area. The lighthouse keeps people away. But it's... Usually they have harbor there. Rest for a few hours, maybe a day, worst case, and head back.
Do most ships that go north go by there?
Most would.
So if we got on a ship, there's a good chance they would stop there.
It'd have to be somebody willing to stop and willing to look for it. I don't know where it is.
We'll have to hire someone then.
Or we just get off there and other ships come in and we jump on and go.
There's that too, but we've got... Well, we could probably hire someone who'd be willing to transport us.
I might know of somebody who'd take you. No? It's Sheila Coppertree. She's, mostly merchant, bit of a scoundrel.
Seems to be a lot of those.
Fine by us.
But
Mostly fine.
What kind of scoundrel?
I mean, sometimes,
A pirate?
no, not a pirate.
Good.
More of,
I don't have a whole lot of stomach for that.
a bit more of a smuggler from time to time. But mostly merchant. Above board. But her captain was the friend. She'd know the Jade Lion.
Alright.
Seems you said something about pay.
I'll give you 200 gold each if you can find... If you find the wreckage of the ship, okay. Please bring me evidence. However, on a more personal note, I will give you an additional 200 gold each if you can bring back somebody named Raph. He's my son.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I'm sorry also.
Well, we'll certainly do what we can.
If you're able to save the ship and certainly any of the contents, outside of a chance as that is, there'd be other pay depending on what it would be, of course, but...
Say no more. Helping get your child back. If we can do that, I think that's reasonable.
Thank you. I'm Benji.
Killian.
Benji Frogwater.
Roma?
Benji Frogwater.
Elbin?
Benji Frogwater. I'm from Frogwater Imports and Merchants.
We're not to come back here. I suppose we could.
Well, I mean, we could.
We
We'll
could.
still technically go
For
at
that
point.
payment, I think we could just pop into port a bit. Maybe just I and Romer could, and
You don't want to anger a god.
That is true.
I mean,
Yeah. Peter, my friend.
I'll tell you what. I understand. There's a small aisle. It's a bit in between here and the lighthouse. I'll sail that way. I'll wait. I have a shop, and it's a bit of a drop-off point for my supply anyway. I'll head there and await you there. I have business I can attend. That way you don't have to come all the way back here.
I think that's
Seems
reasonable.
reasonable.
Yep.
Of course. All right then. You're welcome. We'll certainly, Mr. Frogwater, we'll find your son if we can. We'll find the ship if we can.
Thank you. I knew I'd find somebody.
Did we have a name for us?
Oh, you a company?
Yes.
Oh, what was your name?
broken something.
Broken soul. Broken body.
We'll have to get back to you on that. Actually, we're a bit of rebranding.
Fair enough.
Dumb Gordon.
He kind of looks at all of you, and he's like, "Oh, wait." He's like, "You two.
Hi.
You, I don't know.
God damn it.
You say you came from the jungle.
We did.
Were you in a place called Miven's Rest? Archaeological place.
We were.
It's like, one of my old friends came through here. Ulfgar! He came with a young wizard, apparently.
Yes.
He said you'd found her after 20 years. She does not look that old.
She was suspended, trapped in a bottle.
She doesn't age.
Ulfgar didn't fucking tell me that. He's like, yeah, he talked all about you.
Did he say what our company's name was?
No, he didn't. He said that was the thing, that you didn't have a company. That's what reminded me.
Because you forgot.
Because I'm pretty sure we came up
He
with
talked
one.
about some forgetful idiots.
We've had a long time talking about business and branding, and he said the idea of a name is important, and then he brought up how he got here, and he said that he had come across some young fellows, absolutely heroic, weren't anything close to the Crimson Company, in his words, but
That sounds like
that
it.
they didn't have a name and that they should. Ah!
Too bad there's not a magical way to go back and find out what that is.
Pretty sure we had decided on one, but clearly it wasn't
I'm pretty
important
sure we
enough to
hadn't.
stick.
I feel even better now.
Roma's riders.
We'll get back to you.
I'm not even sure I know how to ride a horse. Or any dinosaur.
So a horse is a kind of dinosaur. I don't know how to ride a horse or any other.
Or any other kind of dinosaur.
I like dinosaurs, especially horses.
I mean, horses.
What is a horseosaurus?
He's like, well, look. If Ulfgar trusts you, I trust you. I'll give you 300 gold as an advance. I'll show a good faith.
Of course. Well, we'll certainly take you up on that.
Should we tell him we don't track bulls?
Stop it.
Sorry. Okay.
I regret everything.
Goof mode is off. Had to get that one in.
Alright, we'll set out immediately. Do you have any other matters you'd like to attend to?
No, I just want to get some wine.
Of course.
I can suggest it.
Yes, please.
That one over there. Tell him you know me.
All right, I just walked over there.
Dude, you find a merchant. You see, you mention Frogwater's name. You say you're looking for wine.
Like I'm looking for decent wine, like
You get some good
like
stuff.
10 gold pieces a bottle.
You can do that.
So
Buying the good stuff, man.
All those 10 gold pieces, let's say that you got it for half mentioning his name.
Okay.
So,
That's fine.
thank you.
You're welcome. So you'll be arranging passage then, or should we find this person?
I'd say you go find Sheila Coppertree. She should be down there. You'll see a ship named the Annabelle Lee.
All right.
She's trustworthy. Pretty much.
We'll trust her as little as we have to.
Yeah. Maybe tuck your gold. Different spots. It shouldn't come up.
All right.
We'll be fine.
All right, well, we should get moving then.
We'll see you on the aisle. She knows where it's at.
People know not to mess with Roma's raiders.
That's absolutely
That's not-
100% not our
That's
name.
really what it is.
Please don't even consider repeating that.
Okay. Well, thank you for your courage. And honestly, your willingness. Maybe you do it all the time, but it's a bit rare in this world. So, kind of heads off.
All right, well, I guess we'll head over to the Annabelle Lee.
Okay. I'm going to use a help card.
I still don't have her weapon out.
Oh, just, I need your model.
Every roll initiative.
All right. You guys find the Annabelle Lee just fine, and you see tall, athletic, half-elf. She's blonde. She's got kind of braided, like multiple braided hair down the back, like 3 braids, and the tri-fold hat. I know you're kind of traditional.
Classic tricorn.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
up, and she's yelling a couple things to a couple crew on board. She's like, no. Mm-mm. Do I need to? No, absolutely.
Pardon me. We were sent by Frogwater.
Oh. Yeah. Now, do you mates want to lose at a little black tar dice? Is that why you're here?
No.
No.
We're looking for passage. The lighthouse.
Friend of his went missing. The Jade. What was
Son of
Jade's?
his went missing.
No, the ship. What was the name of the ship?
Oh, the Jade Lion?
Yes.
Jade Lion.
Thought you might be sympathetic to that.
Aye. Aaron Hest is the captain. He's a friend of mine. I'd heard a rumor that people saw a ship strangely pushed into the waters of Skyhorn. He's a capable captain. I expected to see him here in a day or so, though.
We've been asked to find him in the ship.
He's overdue.
Frogwater said you'd take us.
I will. I'll take you to whatever port you want to after that, if you like. Aaron Hest is a friend. If you're telling me that you're capable. If you're not fucking capable, you can turn right the fuck around.
We're capable.
Very capable.
Frogwater's heard of us, if that helps. He can tell you we're capable.
He exaggerates. Right.
A lot about this.
Yeah. Raph's a good lad. He's a good lad. At that point you hear, Sheila Coppertree! And she's like, and they're like, you're a fucking dead woman! And she's like,
Friends of yours.
she's like, nah, not quite. And you see 2.
Just going to
figures.
delay our journey.
She's like, probably not. I'm sure we can talk our way out of it. Another.
Well, we just get the figures. No reason.
That's what we can point to who we're negotiating with.
Right.
That's all it is.
As you guys are right here. You see a kind of scraggly looking human with scars all over his face, walking, just
wrong.
kind of lumbering. And then you also see a half-orc who is, oddly enough, like remarkably tidy, like oiled hair pulled back, kind of lumbering. And the human you like hear yelling, "You owe us, Sheila. Your ship is ours." And then the other one's like, "We know you weighted those dice. We caught you, wench."
Doesn't sound unlike
Yeah, Killian would kind of look at us like...
Romer just starts walking towards them and kind of interposes himself. should just go on your way. We have business with her. Don't want to get messy. Appreciate your time. I'm sure you were probably a bit drunk. Just go on your way.
The fucking half-elf is it? Do I fucking look drunk?
I'm just saying you could have been drunk. But yeah, you do look a bit drunk.
Fuck is this, Copper Tree?
Alright. What my friend means to say is we've got very urgent business, and Copper Tree's going to take us on her ship, and we don't have time for this, so he's telling you very kindly to feck right off.
Fuck right off. We're owed a large sum of money, and you're telling me you're gonna leave on the ship that we're fucking owed. Like, yeah, on the fucking ship we're owed.
We're tired of killing.
Well,
I think everyone would say that in like the most innocent way possible.
Rower has to turn away from them and put his hand over his mouth.
My dude, go ahead and roll intimidation.
Accidental intimidation.
For how fucking sincere and strange that is.
I'm guessing it's low, but yeah, so just 17. Just 17.
17. I mean, they are... It stops them in their tracks. They're looking like they're about to yell more. And you're honest. We're tired of killing. They fucking look and are like, maybe we could settle for a lower price.
I'll look back to her. You want us to prove our worth?
She's like, well, mates, considering I owe you fuck all. I'm like,
Thought so.
you guys get that they are a little on the fence at this point, though.
All right.
So, you guys have an opportunity to potentially do whatever options you think. They definitely seem after that they're still like, they're weighing it.
All right, yeah, I think Killian would lean into it briefly and just be like, whatever your issue is with her, she'll be back. You can deal with this at a later time. But if you want truly to deal with this right now, then we're going to have no choice but to get involved also. And you probably don't want that.
You really don't want that.
And I don't mean that in any other way, but sincerity.
I mean it. You really don't want to. I mean, like, we'll probably kill you.
Okay, I'm going to have both of you guys roll persuasion at advantage.
All right.
I think you guys have all kind of alley-ooped the ball here.
20 total.
18.
Yeah, absolutely. The human is like, I mean, kind of going on the foot to foot, like, what do you say, Nino? We'll be looking for you when you get back, Copper Tree. I want my money. She's like, well, you're not gonna fucking get it. And they're like, they look pissed, but they start to back up. They have a pretty weak attempt to, like the humans, like,
give me a stink eye.
like trying, but he's already lost it. The half orc is cooler. Is like, kind of gauges the situation at that point. It's like, gentlemen, and they head off.
I think Killian would put the piece of sulfur he was holding in his hand back in his component pouch.
And Romer just looks around. Done killing? Oh my god. That was the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Well, I am tired of killing.
Sure.
I thought for a second you said Killian.
So did I.
Oh, of course not.
Oh my god. It's for next time. Zombie night. Thanks,
you
zombie. So much.
All right.
Zombie.
Y'all have been kind to night.
We've got 3 as they're walking away. I just start blasting them.
Yeah.
And I totally missed from before. Tort. Thank you. Tort 2.
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
Torte.
Torte.
How do you track it between games?
One of...
Oh,
Me and Andrew are like, we got this. We definitely got this.
You don't.
And the next game we're like, nah, we don't have any.
Okay, we'll put it in the Discord as a reminder.
Yeah.
They will not go to waste.
Good. That's why I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no, they'll stick around for sure. With that, you guys get on board the Annabelle Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Let's knock him over.
I solved your those guys puzzle.
All right. Well, you guys have entered on board of the Annabelle Lee. And, I mean, she immediately jumps in. And you see it's a relatively small crew.
Right.
It's about five people besides her. You see two dwarves that look like they might be brothers, just doing rigging. You see a half-elf kind of easily just kind of climb up. She's like, lift anchor. She's like, push off.
I'll wait till the ship's starting to leave, and then I go to a hammock.
Oh, yeah. With that, you kind of head into a hammock feeling lighter, and the two of you leave the continent of Cholt. But, Elbin, as you guys do, you have to cut down the coast a bit. You see that the crew are looking, and a number of animals have lined the beaches outside of the jungle. And there's a kind of collective howl or noise. And even though they shouldn't harmonize in any way, it should just be a cacophony of sounds, it somehow coalesces into something that sounds like a harmony and an inherent thank you in Sylvan.
Nice.
I think that would... He was already feeling kind of okay, but he'd just take a deep breath and feel like he did something good and just feel a lot better in general.
And you see it as well, and you can decide if you understand the sentiment. I think it's fairly clear.
I think so. I think Killian would reach out and put a hand on Elbin's back and just kind of lean on the ropes of the side of the ship.
The two of you who met in Cholt months ago, watch it as it goes into the distance. And with that, viewers, our travelers leave Cholt, heading on their way to Skyhorn Lighthouse to try to find the Jade Lion. But as always, and as many of you know, our adventurers are about to enter troubled waters. Don't miss us next time on next Tuesday. And we'll remember we have these. Thank you guys for watching.
Nice.
Welcome to Season 2, everyone. I loved it, y'all. You did.
That was awesome.
Great.
That was awesome. Every time you do your monologue, I can't get Twilight Zone.
Me too. Rod, so
a couple times you're like, and
except I hear the Futurama version, which is the scary door. You know, it's like you're about to enter the scary door.
I could do Rod Serling. I could try to.
You had like the cadence of the voice.
I'll just start smoking in the castle walls. A summer city.
I love it.
Sweet. Well, thank you.
That was
guys.
awesome. I'm going to launch a raid right now.
Awesome.
I see, how about, you know what? We haven't raided Lindy. She's raided us a couple times. You good with a raid on Lindy?
Yeah, and you guys hang in. This is Skyhorn Lighthouse. It's a #1 DM's Guild seller by our friend Kelsey Dion of the Arcane Library.
Yep.
So
Awesome.
this is just the entering of it, so next time it may take just 1 or 2 sessions, but this will be Skyhorn Lighthouse. It's wonderful.
Man,
it's
we've got parallel Kelsey Dion adventures going on. Because Sunday is another Kelsey adventure.
Yep.
Clearly, we're huge fans.
She also did the first one you guys did.
That's right. Temple of the Basilisk Cult. We started and have ended Cholt.
That's awesome.
With Arcane Library.
Yeah, so
By
good.
design.
Yeah. That was fun. Thanks, man. All right,
Thanks,
we're ready to launch this raid. Here we go. See y'all next time.